Welcome back, and yes, this changes everything. We are now hearing about major changes occurring currently on the Internet Computer Protocol in the second half of 2025. And this is no surprise to us who've been following the Internet Computer for quite a while right here on the Cryptoviser podcast, because we've been exploring the entire journey of the Internet Computer, including the growth, including breaking all-time record highs in terms of transaction throughput, becoming the fastest blockchain on the planet and the only blockchain with AI built in, able to not only code and write offline, but also then go and deploy that code and deploy that DApp or that website or that program directly on the Internet Computer. And the Internet Computer can host it as well. And so as we see the expansion of the self-writing internet, utilizing AI to help build the Internet Computer and all of that, we are now seeing the network reorganization at a global level underway. And in today's video, I'm going to be exploring with you all of the information about this reorganization of the network, why this is important, why I believe Internet Computer is going to go much, much higher, and potentially this will change the game for crypto and blockchain and AI and the Internet Computer. This is the Cryptoviser podcast. We talk about crypto, blockchain, and investing every single day of the year. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give this video a free thumbs up, because thumbs up are free, crypto is not. And you can also become a channel member by clicking the join button down below or on my channel. Just click the link and then just click this join button. Channel membership is as low as $1.99 per month, or if you're an Internet Computer whale and appreciate all the support that we're doing on this channel for the Internet Computer ecosystem, you can also choose a higher tier. Thanks for watching, and thumbs up are always free, and I appreciate, even if you're not a channel member, the thumbs up. Let's get into today's video about Internet Computer beginning a USA rollout. Now, we've been talking about the Internet Computer for quite a while on this channel. Just this past month, in the middle of 2025, Dominic posted this in where he and Jan, who I believe is the chief tech officer over at Dfinity, they were in the Swiss parliament the other day pushing for the industry with some of the Swiss vice president. That's pretty crazy right there. And so obviously we know Dfinity, which is the main developer behind Internet Computer, is based in Switzerland. And so them having the exposure to the high levels within the government that are going to help create the laws that either push this newer technology forward or stifle it, as we've seen in some countries over the last few years, this is really big. And as I've explained to you guys on this channel, we have clearly seen interest from the likes of the Musks, the likes of Hedera, the likes of other companies and blockchains that are looking to utilize or potentially power their ecosystem with technologies that are built on the Internet Computer. But we also know OpenAI and the big AI companies are watching very, very closely what Internet Computer is doing with what they call the self-writing internet. And that brings us to today. What is going on with this network reorganization? Now, I posted on my YouTube page just the other day. You can go click my logo down below, click on the posts tab. And by the way, the more you like these videos with thumbs up and more that you like these posts, the more that these will show up on your YouTube feed. So some people say that they don't see them, but yeah, go to my YouTube page, click on the post tab, and I posted this. Internet Computer is undergoing a network reorganization. This includes involvement in New York, Florida, and Paris. In July 2025, there are big things happening on the Internet Computer mainnet. I have been tracking a significant Internet Computer network reorganization globally, and it appears the Internet Computer is preparing for something big. So we're going to be talking about what they're doing in today's video. And by the way, this is not the only video that we're going to be posting about this. But the other day, Dominic, the founder of Internet Computer, posted, Dfinity will soon submit proposals to the network nervous system, aka the mainnet of Internet Computer, to create new subnets, a substantial number. Their purpose is simply to start scaling out network capacity in advance of Caffeine AI's rollout. Big things. Now, Caffeine AI is one of the premier AI programs that was developed by, I guess, Dfinity. And basically, it's a large language model off chain that is able to, you can talk to it like an AI agent, right? And it's basically going to become the self-writing internet. So you say, hey, I want to create, a hotel booking application program to, for my clients to be able to book a reservation. I should be able to see the reservation, all this kind of stuff, whatever. And then it could actually build a program for you, code it out, then deploy it and host it on the internet computer, all through the AI. And so this is going to be really big. And we've been seeing a lot of network activity starting to ramp up. I mean, we talked about previously that the internet computer is now the fastest blockchain on earth, with the transaction throughput clocking over 12,000 transactions per second just a few months ago in 2025. Now, it's come down since then. Why it's come down, I don't know. I'm guessing because they're getting ready for the rollout, and also because of all of this network reorganization that we're about to go over. And so you can see here, just from last video or last week, there were only 37 subnets, and now there are 41 subnets in 32 countries. A subnet is responsible for hosting a distinct subset of software canisters or smart contracts hosted on the internet computer. A subnet is created by bringing together node machines drawn from different data centers in a manner controlled by the network nervous system of the internet computer. These node machines collaborate via the internet computer protocol in order to symmetrically replicate the data and computations pertaining to the software smart contracts that they host. Now, again, Dominic said that Dfinity was going to be submitting proposals, and you guys know one of the things that I love about internet computer is transparency. You can see on chain, on the dashboard, all of the voting, all of the governance, all of the individual voters, right? So, for instance, Dfinity, the founding entity behind internet computer, they have about, I think, 20% of the network's voting power, for instance. But we can also go into their individual neuron or stake in the network and look at what they are voting on. Other ecosystems, they still don't even have transparent voting mechanisms on supposedly a transparent network, but internet computer does. And so Dfinity is Neuron 27, as they're called. And this, you can actually go in and see the proposals that internet computer is putting in to the network themselves, but you can also see the other proposals that are being submitted in the into the internet computer proposal governance ecosystem. And then you can go into the individual proposals and see how individual like neurons or individual stakeholders in the network voted. So we can see, what Dfinity is voting for against, and maybe just not voting at all. But one of the things that we've been seeing in their voting history is massive subnet updates. And some of the more specific subnet updates that I was referring to in this post on my YouTube page is the expansion into the United States. So when we click over into one of the the proposals that I've covered previously on this channel, this is kind of this was submitted a few weeks before I'm recording this video. And basically, this motion proposed to increase the number of internet computer subnets by 29. The current was 31 subnets, and they wanted to change it to 60. So basically doubling the subnet ecosystem, with each application subnet consisting of 13 nodes. The purpose is to further support the growth of the internet computer ecosystem, particularly in response to increased demand from Caffeine AI, the self-writing apps platform. Additionally, they proposed adding a U.S.-based subnet to the topology. The creation of a U.S. subnet aims to ensure regional balance within the network. Since the introduction of the EU, or European Union-based subnet, the community has consistently expressed interest in having a counterpart in the US. This proposal addresses that demand and enables more geographically diverse deployment options for internet computer developers. So, yeah, this is pretty big because if you guys are not aware, European Union has different data privacy laws, and so Internet Computer was forced to have an EU specific subnet, right, to host all of the network. And remember, their Dfinity is based in Switzerland, so you would imagine probably most of them would be kind of in that region or area. And so the expansion into the US was very interesting. And by the way, it's now complete or in the process of being complete. So there's another proposal that is on the screen right now, and this says create a new subnet with these nodes. And the motivation for this proposal creates a brand new US application subnet, which will provide internet computer developers with an environment for jurisdiction specific workloads and latency optimized experience for users in the region. Now, keep in mind, this is still ongoing, right? Everything that we're talking about on this channel is still being implemented, and this is all happening like live and it's ongoing as we're reporting on it. But yeah, you can see that some of the operators are already voting no. Most have not voted yet. You can see on the top right of the screen. Yeah, you can see on the top right the voting results so far. Dfinity hasn't voted yet, and most of the node, the whales, I should say, haven't voted yet. But I would imagine we are going to see the subnet approved with overwhelming support. Because at the end of the day, for internet computer to truly succeed, we need to see global expansion. We also saw this proposal. So this proposal, this node operator ID, represents 28 nodes located in Jacksonville's data center. Jacksonville is in the state of Florida, by the way. As communicated on the forum, which we'll get to in a minute, these nodes will be transferred to Parify Technologies. And so this proposal is to basically switch the owner of this node operator for Jacksonville. And by the way, the same thing is being proposed for a node operator representing 14 nodes in New York's data center. And so, by the way, it appears to me, based on these proposals, that there's already internet computer data centers in these locations, meaning Dfinity internet computer ecosystem is already in the United States. And this is expanding it and putting it in a. We're going to get to the forum in a minute, because I think that it's important for you guys to understand the full context of this, right? Because there were nodes before, but now these nodes are going to Parify Technologies, which from my understanding, Parify Technologies is a validator for multiple different blockchains. And they provide infrastructure similar to like a Bitcoin mining company. And so in the forum that they have linked, you can see that just about a month ago, it says, as Leo, some of this is not going to make sense, but just kind of follow the general theme of this, right? As Leo described, I provided a loan to Enzo and Leo so that the respective companies, this and this, could purchase nodes. I did so because it was a good investment opportunity as a passive debt provider with no legal right to or physically access to the nodes. I did not believe I was compromising the independence of the nodes. That said, as the community evolved, it became clear that node providers would not be permitted to provide debt financing to other node providers. Even though the rules still have not been established, after consulting with Dfinity, Enzo, Leo, and I decided to proactively reorganize in order to comply with what we believe will be the future state of affairs. And so this is where he's pleased to announce that firstly, Parify Technologies, a reputable infrastructure provider, will be purchasing nodes from this company, Rivonia Holdings. Rivonia will begin proceedings to offboard the network nervous system, right? The main net of internet computer. And Parify will begin the proceedings to onboard onto the network nervous system, basically transferring ownership. Once the network nervous system completes these steps, Parify will wholly own these nodes that were previously owned by Rivonia, and the data center's lease will be transferred to them. While legal documents have been signed, this person, D. Fisher, says, I expect the full network nervous system approval process to take 2 to 4 weeks, which is required for the transition to complete. Concretely, this means that the network nervous system would need to adopt the proposals for Parify Technologies to register as a node provider, assume the 28 node allocation in Jacksonville and 14 node allocation in New York, and configure rewards for all 42 nodes. We would like to ask Dfinity to remove Rivonia nodes from all subnets. Secondly, he said he bought this company from Leo, which owns a set of nodes in the Isle of Man. As part of the transaction, he will relinquish rights to that other company, including a management role, ownership of the nodes, and access to the data center. And then so basically they're doing some other things as well. The bottom line here is that they're doing some pretty big changes right now, right? And then, so on the Parify side, this guy Sven said, Dear all, as part of the further decentralization of the node infrastructure. Oh, by the way, this is not the part that I wanted to pull up. All right, I found the part. So this is Andy from Parify, right? That infrastructure provider that they're going to be transferring all of the node operations to. He said, we're excited to introduce ourselves as the new operator of 42 nodes previously managed by Rivonia. As background, Parify is a team of engineers and operators passionate about building open infrastructure for the future of the internet. We believe Internet Computer's vision of decentralized, censorship-resistant Web3 aligns with our objectives of building and operating open blockchain infrastructure. And so yeah, let's understand exactly what Parify is going to be doing. Parify Technologies is a wholly owned entity of Parify. Parify Technologies was established in 2022 and operates as a high-performing blockchain infrastructure provider to networks such as Ethereum, Solana, and Avalanche. We operate our own and have complete independence as an ICP node provider with no known affiliates to other ICP node providers. He continues saying Parify Technologies is committed to building highly performant open crypto infrastructure. We're regularly ranked in the top 10 node operators on Ethereum, demonstrating our commitment to reliable, high-performance network participation. With this ICP addition, we're looking forward to bringing our crypto network technology expertise to the Internet Computer. So the next steps is they're going to be submitting network nervous system proposals and look forward to contributing to the security and decentralization of Internet Computer's network. They're going to prepare and sign the self-declaration, independence assessment, and handover statement forms, which they plan to upload to their wiki page this week. The proposal sequence will be as follows. One is basically register principal as a node provider on the Internet Computer, right? Register as a node provider record for 14 nodes in New York. Register as a node operator for 28 nodes in Jacksonville. Configure the rewards for the 14 nodes in New York and the 28 nodes in Jacksonville. They fully expect to be onboarded in 2 to 4 weeks. And so based on the proposals that we have been seeing on the network nervous system, based on everything that we're seeing in the forums, it seems like this is going to occur. And it seems like, or it already did occur, I should say. The transfer of the nodes in New York and Jacksonville have already been completed. It's already been voted on with overwhelming support, 85% for the New York, 85% for the Jacksonville. And now we're just waiting to see what happens with this US only subnet, if this is approved by the network. And so you can see that there's ongoing changes occurring in the Internet Computer ecosystem. And it's not just happening in the US. We also saw similar proposals for Barcelona, the nodes there. We also are seeing operations in Paris, and they're talking about transferring this to an entity called the Decentralized Entities Foundation. And there's obviously more information on that. Like I said, there is a lot of proposals. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of proposals that have been submitted over the past few days, really. I mean, in the last 4 or 5 days, there's hundreds of proposals that are being submitted. And this all is around subnet management, node management, ownership, transfers. And to me, whenever you see this occurring, whether it's back end with companies acquiring other companies, companies deploying different technologies. To me, it seems like something big is underway, bigger than just releasing AI capabilities on the internet computer. Potentially, there's backroom deals going on, potentially with other AI companies, potentially with other blockchains, potentially just with venture capitalist investors that are looking to further expand this technology and explore AI, blockchain, and on-chain compute. It's very interesting. It's very exciting because, again, we're not seeing this occurring in other ecosystems. Other ecosystems are looking for money grabs right now. We're seeing a lot of coins being unlocked. We're seeing a lot of pump and dumps going on. But meanwhile, internet computer just keeps growing and expanding. And it appears that most of what we're seeing occurring is happening at a very natural, organic growth rate, right? It's not being pushed. It's not being forced. It's just happening. And I'm really excited to see that now we're going to have U.S. exposure to the Internet Computer Network. That Internet Computer has newer stakeholders that are seem to be very invested in the future of where Internet Computer is going. And by the way, the massive expansion that we're also seeing from the subnet perspective. Because like I said, just even from the last video I did, we went from 37 subnets to 41. And so why would they be expanding this? Why would they be, adding new subnets? Why would they be adding nodes and, increasing the transaction throughput capabilities if big things were not occurring on the network? And by the way, the network is not showing that right now because we actually see the transaction throughput cratering, right? I mean, 1,000 transactions per second from 12,000 transactions per second. That's a 90% decrease. But remember, there's a lot of node reshuffling right now. There's a lot of network configurations, network activity that's going on. So really, there's not the focus of the on-chain activity right now. The focus is getting the network ready for that on-chain activity. Because Dominic has also told us through his post that he expects a 10x increase in some metrics on the internet computer ecosystem, potentially even 10xing the top of the transaction throughput, which was at around 12,000 transactions per second, 10xing that, 120,000 transactions per second. And so this is very exciting as somebody who follows the network. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who say, but Cryptoviser, how come the price doesn't reflect all of these positive things? Well, if the price was reflecting it, right, we would already be at the destination. We are still on the journey. We're still seeing the expansion. We haven't even seen the full rollout of AI capabilities. We haven't even gotten AI large language models on chain yet. What do you think is going to occur when they have the LLM on chain and everything is being done from the decentralized network? This is going to blow these centralized companies like OpenAI, XAI, Google AI out of the water. And or they're going to start using some of the capabilities of internet computer for provably secure prompts. And so, yeah, the price is not necessarily showing us where the network is, but we know that is the point where you're looking for entries, right? Because you want to invest when the technology or the crypto or the stock or whatever it is undervalued. And so if we see the value of the network is very high, right? On-chain compute, on-chain storage, provably secure, prompts within AI, potentially large language models on-chain, new subnets in multiple different countries, new ownership of U.S.-based subnets, right? Because they have data centers in New York, which has the most strictest digital asset regulations in the world. Now, granted, the data center is different than the coin, so that's a big difference. But why do you think that they're in New York? And why do you think they're in Florida, right? These are like polar opposites from many different perspectives. But if they were going to be releasing these capabilities of AI, these capabilities of on-chain finance, right? Building businesses on chain, hosting applications, right? Hosting dApps, you'll be able to game, uh, download. Like you have an app store on Google, you have an app store on Apple, you have an app store on Samsung, you have an app store here and there, many different places, right? Microsoft has an app store as well. And now Internet Computer is going to have an app store. And so if you think about that, right, it's a whole ecosystem being built, the future of tech, like quite literally. And whether it succeeds or not, that's a whole different story, right? But we're investing in the vision of where they want to get to and where the whole, I guess, technological advancement of the world is moving towards. And it seems very cohesive between where Internet Computer's vision is and where the world of technology is moving. AI, on-chain compute, global network capabilities to build just by talking to an AI agent. I mean, this is literally revolutionary. And so for us to think that the value of the network is where the valuation of the network is would be foolish, right? I mean, the focus right now in Wall Street is Bitcoin and Ethereum and these Bitcoin and Ethereum treasury companies. That is the narrative for this cycle. And by the way, meme coins as well, the Haktua coin and all of that, right? Here we're talking about real technology and not having to do with the valuation of the technology. But what do we know? If you build good technology, the valuation will follow. I mean, we have Circle, which is a stable coin issuer, right? They went from $30 IPO to $300 valuation, basically making their stock market cap the same valuation as the assets under management, which clearly is overvalued. And so when we see that occurring, that is where the narrative is. The narrative is not focused on real technology. The narrative is not focused on real value being built through, potentially these networks that are going to be highly integrated into things that we do in the future, whether it's back-end integration, front-end integration, or a combination of the two. And so for me, is this a part of my portfolio when I'm recording this video? Of course. Is this the largest portion of my portfolio? Of course not, right? This is an altcoin. There's risk here. But I don't know. The risk is in terms of like the potential and the future possibilities. And remember, this is coming from somebody. When Internet Computer first launched, I mean, you can go look at my videos from back in the day. I mean, I used to think Internet Computer was a let's see, I don't even know if I titled any videos that back in the day, but I used to think it was a rug pull because of how the price kind of went down. And then in 2024, when they started bringing up the AI stuff, I was like, okay, maybe there's more here. But yeah, ICP $200 billion. That was a year ago. We were talking about the grant program on Internet Computer. But yeah, I definitely remember talking about it in the previous cycle. Like I thought it was a rug pull because the price went from $700 down to $2. But the technology is real. The technology is being deployed. The technology is expanding in the United States. And what I see based on all of this subnet activity and this subnet ownership changes is this. To me, it appears that all of this subnet adjustments that we're seeing and really the focus on subnet um, legitimization, I guess that's the easiest way to put it, is this network is now maturing, right? It's going from individuals who are helping grow the system, developers helping grow the ecosystem, because this is how most of the networks I think started. I mean, even Bitcoin, it was just individuals mining Bitcoin, and now we have large multi-billion-dollar conglomerates mining Bitcoin. That is the maturity, over the course of time of the networks. And I think what we're seeing here is Internet Computer is on the cusp, right, of this AI breakthrough, is on the cusp of this major breakout from a valuation perspective. But to get there, Internet Computer needs to go through some changes. And Internet Computer needs that transfer, right? Before the wealth transfer can occur, where Wall Street gets involved, the network transfer has to occur. And I think that's what's going on right now. They're transferring ownership from individuals owning these nodes and these companies to bigger players owning them, where there's more compliance, there's more transparency and more people at the table, making sure that things are running properly and efficiently. Because remember, if you think about the Bitcoin network, they don't want just Mary Jane mining Bitcoin in the basement, because that's not a secure network as secure, I should say, as Bitcoin mining companies that are highly regulated, highly controlled, and have board of directors, shareholders. And so there's multiple layers of checks and balances there to make sure that they're protecting the network and protecting all the funds on the network. Because you can't build out a network like Internet Computer where the data of companies are potentially going to be, put on these AI programs or large language models to help build. And by the way, you're not going to have companies willing to put their data or put their application and host it on this decentralized network if there's not protections and checks and balances in place. And so that, to me, appears what is going on here with the Internet Computer and all of this subnet restructuring. This is the maturity of the network. This is the network getting ready for the next phase. And so if you believe what I believe, that this is getting the network ready for the big AI rollout, for potential large scale investments and implementations of this technology, well, then it's going to take a little bit of time till we get there. And once we're there, we're going to be there. And it's going to happen very, very fast. So, I want to know what you guys think. Like, do you think that my analysis is just so bullish? Or do you believe in what we're talking about here? Do you believe that Internet Computer's network really does have the potential to kind of go in this direction of being kind of, a Google of the world or a Microsoft of the world? And where do you kind of stand on all these proposals getting put through on the, maturity in the U.S. market, the launch of a U.S. only subnet? In my view, this is huge, especially that we know OpenAI is interested. Kimball Musk understands what Dfinity is doing, and Kimball Musk is brothers with Elon Musk, who is big on AI and big on crypto and big on these decentralized networks. And so a lot of that is just speculation, but it's definitely a possibility. And that is the future of the Internet Computer if everything moves correctly, and if the vision of Internet Computer and the Internet Computer developers is realized. And I hope that it is. Don't forget to give this video a free thumbs up. Check out our channel membership by clicking the join button down below, and make sure you're subscribed. That way you never miss a new video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Comment down below, and crypto on.